Good evening, everybody. Welcome to round 4 of the iRacing Short Course Regional Series. Tonight we are here at wonderful Wild West here in Sparks, Nevada. It's a little bit of a different format we're going to run tonight. It's going to be a 20-minute practice, followed by a 3-lap qualifying session, and then we'll roll right into the main event tonight. So with that, we'll go ahead and take a look at last week's race real quick, the last couple laps, and come back and check out where everyone's at as far as practice is concerned. Down the last couple laps, Hollanders is putting on a clinic tonight. Pretty much been uncontested this entire round. Got just about a 3-second lead over Minder. King and Smith looking to maybe make something happen late here, but they're quickly running out of time. As we are on the last lap here. Looks like Smith is going to apply some late pressure. See if he's able to make something happen here on the inside. Nope, Crystal King is just running her line. So with that, looks like Paul Hollander started this race first and is going to end it in first. So Paul Hollander is your round 3 winner. Minder and King are going to round out your top 3. Alright, and a huge shout out to Factory Sim Sport for supporting the iRacing Short Course Regional Series. Definitely the place to go if you're looking for coaching, setups for these vehicles. They specialize in all the stuff that help make our drivers as quick as they are out here. So as it sits right now, it looks like Paul Hollander in that 8 truck's out here tonight. He's currently sitting in the pits. Looks like he got a few laps in. But pretty much every race he has been part of this season, he has walked away with the win. Sitting in second place in points is Crystal King. She's looking like she's running some good laps. Her best right now is a 50.34. So about 0.2 of a second behind Hollander. We also got Brock Smith, another fan favorite. So speaking of points, let's go ahead and pull those up. So as of round 3, Minder has the points lead. Crystal King is sitting 4 points behind him, and then you got a pretty good gap. And then Devin sitting 3rd, Dustin in 4th. Then looks like Doshalet has a chance to maybe take that 4th spot away from Dustin. James, Paul's been fast. Unfortunately, he missed week 2, so that's the reason why he's sitting behind in points right now. Kenneth has been rock solid. James and Titus, we've seen them running up front a lot as well. So we'll see how this pans out going into the final 2 rounds. So next week will be the series final. Let's see who else is here. Looking at Dusty again. Bryce is showing up tonight. This will be, I believe, his first run in this series. Don't quote me on that. He might have run earlier. I don't have the historical sheets in front of me, but another driver who's really fast and fun to watch. So we got about 10 more minutes left to practice here, and we'll be back once we're about to qualify. Alright, we got about 4 more minutes left here until we go qualifying. I just want to take this moment to remind everyone this Wednesday at 7 o'clock Pacific time, we're going to wrap up the Pro 4 Summer Series at Crandon International. It'll be the long configuration, so always a good time. Be sure to tune into that one. And then the following week, we will wrap up, I believe, Crandon as well here in the regional series. So Crandon's kind of the go-to place to wrap it all up. But right now we'll take a quick look here at Minder. Our points leader going into tonight. Been rock solid every time he's hit the track. Been one of the most consistent drivers out here. And proof that you don't necessarily have to win the races to be up top, but just got to be consistent enough to add those points together. And that is what he has done. So with that, got about 2.5 more minutes before we go ahead and qualify. And we'll be back. Alright, and with that, we're going to roll into our qualifying session. Got 10 laps, or excuse me, 10 minutes, 3 laps. And while we do that, every week we try to sit down and chat with one of our favorite drivers. This week we had the opportunity to speak with Crystal King. So she is the spotlight of this week's driver profile. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sitting here with Crystal King, who's been sitting in second in points this season for the regional series. Crystal, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Well, let's see. The last couple rounds in the third round, you came in third. Round two, you came in second. Very consistent. Kind of what's your secret?
I don't know. I've just been putting in a lot of laps lately here in like the past couple months. It's pretty much all I race. It's just the Pro Fours, so it just happened, I
When
guess.
we talked before in the interviews and stuff like that, you've identified that you are sponsored by Factory Sim and have been trained by Luke Knapp and Keaton Swain. Kind of how they've helped you kind of develop your skill in racecraft.
Honestly, just putting in the work, like late nights, just hanging out and hosted sessions, just clicking off laps. Like they're helping me with my lines, like gearing and setups, and they've been doing a lot for me. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure Factory Sim has definitely had a hand in that as well in
Yeah,
supporting
for
you.
sure.
So, are
Hmm.
you? Was there any other sponsors that back you?
Um, I have a few companies that I like to support. They're basically just friends that I've met on the sim, and they like to support me through it. Shenandoah Shine, the people over there, Garrett Delph, and everyone there is very good people, and they treat me well.
I understand you have a Twitch channel. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've been streaming. I've always kind of been into video games, but I've been streaming since like 2018 off and on here and there. And I took a break in 2019. And then once I got on iRacing, that's when I popped back on. And it's been like that ever since.
Well, I also understand you like to race motocross in real life, and you saying you've pretty much done that from when you were pretty young. Um, are you racing any series, or you just like to follow it?
Um, Over the past year, I haven't really been racing too much. I actually haven't been racing at all. I've kind of just been focusing on the sim racing. But yeah, I started when I was 6, and it's kind of just been a family thing for a while. My brother ended up getting hurt. I have two older brothers that did it, and that's kind of how I got into it. And one of my brothers ended up getting hurt, and then my other brother didn't want to do it anymore. So it's just kind of me and my dad getting it every weekend. And then I ended up losing my dad last year to cancer.
Oh.
And so I've kind of just put it on the back burner and just been focusing on the sim racing and just been having fun improving in something new.
Well, I got to ask, what do you ride?
I have a Honda CRF 250.
Nice. Yeah, I tried the 450s, but it's just too much power for me, so I'm right there with you.
I've ridden a 450 before, but it's too much for me. 250 is just enough.
I right there with you. You know, going into the last two rounds here, kind of what's your mindset? What are you kind of focusing on as you grid up? Um, is there any particular part of the race that you're just kind of really focusing, whether it's throttle control lines, or is it just kind of just trying to keep all the action behind you?
Honestly, it's been just like survival for me. The first round at Wild Horse, like I have maybe ran like 10 laps total on that track in all of my sim racing. And I was pretty much learning the track, the practice of the session. So I was happy to survive that with a sixth, although we were having a pretty good battle for fifth. I would have liked to have the fifth, but I'll take this. With Bark River, I was really pumped on Bark River. I like that track, and I'm just getting caught up in battles, and I'm unable to catch the people in front of me, and that's going to be my main thing from here on out. It's just I'm hoping that I can get a good starting position and just kind of have clean races without getting caught up with the all the drama behind me.
Well, very good. Well, like I said, we're definitely looking forward to seeing how you run the rest of the season. I have a strong feeling I'm going to be talking to you again on the podium. And yeah, with that, yeah, thank you so much for coming by and chatting.
Thank you for doing this and providing something to watch in the middle of the races. This has been fun. I'm ready to get racing.
Awesome. Well, I've been enjoying chatting with you guys and learning more about the people I lined up with. So it's been fun.
Heck yeah. Well, hopefully I'll talk to you again soon.
I'm sure. You take care.
Well, that was a fun interview to do. Definitely enjoyed a chat with very professional racer, and hopefully able to apply some pressure here and move up the points ladder. So with that, we're about halfway through qualifying. Looks like Paul Hollander in the 8 truck is your fastest qualifier with a 50.09, followed by Nicholas Dachelet, who we're looking at right now. He's sitting second with a 50.26. Then we got Crystal, 50.37. Bryce, Brock, Dusty, Chandon, Burke, Titus, Nathan round out the top 10. So like I said, tonight we are not going to be running heat races. So it's going to be top 18 are going to go directly to the feature here tonight. So it's like Nathan Matoxin currently sitting 17th. Looks like he just finished up his last lap here. And with that, looks like most everybody has completed their laps. Looks like a few are just trying to get a few extra practice laps in. And while we wait for the session to expire, just want to point out that August 24th at Crandon as well, we'll be wrapping up the Pro 2 series. They run on Tuesday nights, so make sure you set your calendar 7 o'clock Pacific for that one. That'll be streamed here live on the iRacing Short Course YouTube channel. So looks like we're wrapping up all the series, getting ready to go into the fall time frame and go for that. Also, if you go to the iRacing shortcourse.com website, you can get information on the upcoming series that the league is going to be hosting. It's going to be a showdown series where pretty much drivers are put onto teams, and the teams will compete with each other to score points, and the team with the most points at the end of the race will walk away the winner. So kind of a different format. It should be a lot of fun. So if that's of any interest to you, be sure to check out the Discord, iRacingShortCourse.com, and get signed up for that because there's still some spots. So with that, got about 30 seconds left before we go green flag here for round 4. Alright, so tonight on the pole we got Paul Hollander, Nicholas Dachelet, Crystal King, Bryce, sorry, Brock, Dusty Ladner, Chandon Minder, James Burke, Titus Sherlock, Nathan Mock, Brock Smith, Devin Nelson, Mark Douglas, Michael Kennedy, Chris Newer, Terry Bauman, Nathan Metoxen, Jeff Daniels, Cole Ashlock, Billy Bowerman, Adam Flieger, Dave Ward, who's our admin, Taylor, and Andrew. So it looks like they are taking everybody out of qualifying. My apologies for that. That might have been a last minute change. But with that, eyes are on Paul tonight. As I've said, he every time he's grid up, he has pretty much run away with the race. Right outside of him, Nicholas Dachalette sitting second. Crystal King sitting second in points. She's looking to get a piece of the action. Bryce in that 07. And then Brock, who we're still waiting to line up, round out the top 5. So 24 cars make up the field tonight. 22 laps, caution at lap 12. Should make for some interesting racing. And with that, we'll go ahead and bring up the keys of the race. So really here, the idea is to maintain your lines, especially going into the turns. Avoid contact in the turns, especially turn 1 on the start. And then consistency is critical. So this is one of those tracks where if you have a bad turn, it can really set you back because your competition will be on you real quick. So it looks like we're just waiting on a couple more drivers to hit the track. And we'll let the pace truck take us around. Looks like we're just waiting for 2 more. There we go. Looks like we're going to go ahead and get the pack rolling here. Looks like the pace truck is off. And we are green flag here for round 4 at Wild West. Paul Hollander looking to get out in front, stay out front. Dachalette in there as well. Hopefully we can survive the first turn here. Looks like most everyone's made it through pretty clean. King's up there as well. It's like Dachalette's falling back. Ooh! It's like some gridlock back there in turn 2. But Hollander's out front. King's right behind him. Bryce lurking in 3rd. Sherlock in 4th. And Dickerson sitting 5th. With that, let's go ahead and jump back up front with Paul. And we'll go back, take a look at what happened to Nicholas Dachelet there in turn 2. Looks like he's running pretty good. Just gets on the brakes, gets pushed a little bit, and the 07 of Bryce just unfortunately gets into him. And that is unfortunate. But Paul's definitely leading this thing. Running very strong so far. As Crystal's definitely applying the pressure. Looks like Brock was involved in that rollover. He's now in the pits. So definitely some contact back there in the midfield that's kind of upset the running order. But here we got Jandon Minder sitting 5th, looking to close the gap on Titus Sherlock. About a second separates them. And Minder's been really smooth through turn 1, so probably gonna close the gap there a little bit. But jumping up front, looks like King was applying some pressure. She's gonna probably try to sneak to the inside here. But Paul's able to get some traction out of there and maintain that lead. Looks like Brock Smith, the 46 machine, is running in a solid 7th. Back here, you got a battle for 8th between the two Nathans. And that was a nice move that Mock put on Metoxin. See if Toxin's going to be able to answer back. Kind of slides wide, and unfortunately not able to get that back. But up front, King has closed the gap. She's running within, ooh, they're going to be side by side coming down here. Now, she's definitely been applying some pressure. So I'm sure Paul's got his focus behind him. So these two are definitely the two to watch. Bryce in the 07, probably about 2.5 seconds behind them. Take a look back here. Titus sitting 4th. Minder sitting 5th, looking to kind of work on closing that gap as well. But up here, it looks like King is faster through turn 3 and 4. She's just trying to do everything she can to make something stick here in turn 1, which unfortunately Paul kind of went wide. Let's see if he can get a drive out of there. Because right now King has that first spot. Hollander's going to ease up on the brakes. She's going to be able to maintain that inside. Well, that was a good good pass by Crystal. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that again. We can just see how Paul just unfortunately goes a bit too wide there. She's able just to get a good drive on the inside there and walks away with it. So outstanding pass by Crystal King. She's able to maintain that lead. head back here. Looks like Minder's applying some pressure to Sherlock. As we look at the battle for fourth here, about half a second separates them. We got a couple more laps until we hit the halfway caution. But up front, Crystal's able to keep Paul behind her, as these two pretty much continue to run away with it. Bryce still about 2.5 seconds behind. He's running pretty good with a 50.37 his last time around. Sherlock sitting fourth, up 5 positions. Looks like Minder's still working on closing that gap with him. Take a jump back here to 8th. The two Nathans still applying pressure on each other. Metoxin's looking at the inside there, not able to make anything stick, but was able to make up some ground there. It looks like Toxin kind of hard. Ooh, a little bit of a slam lets him know he's there. He's going to try to cross. Oh, a little bit more contact. We'll jump back up front. Looks like Hollander's averaging about half a second behind Crystal. As we are under caution. So with that, we'll go ahead and tighten up the field, let some drivers get some laps back who need it, and we will go green. Hopefully this time around. Alright, looks like we're stopped here on the back stretch as the last couple drivers are going to get their wave around. And as we go green here, it's going to be Crystal King out front. Paul Hollander close behind her in second. Bryce in third. Titus in fourth. And then Chandon Minder sitting fifth. But as we go green, let's go ahead and jump on board with Hollander for this restart. And we are green. This looks like Hollander's going to try to possibly do a crossover, although it looks like he goes a little wide there, not able to set that up. Titus now in third, took that over from Bryce. A little bit of contact. Ooh. James Burke slid in there, a little late on the brakes. Looks like everyone's able to recover, though, pretty well. And it is quite the shuffle out here as Minder has made his all the way up, or has made his way all the way up to third. Sherlock right behind him. Burke. Looks like those two are jostling around. So definitely quite the restart, as there's no shortage of action. We'll jump back up front as Hollander's putting the pressure on King again. He's going to try to sneak his way on the inside. Looks like he's almost there. Yeah, Paul's doing everything he can, inside, outside. But King's doing a great job of just hooking up, keeping the traction, and getting those drives out of there. Looks like Minder's got some breathing room around him. Sherlock and Burke right behind him. Those are your top five. Ooh, at the 46 of Smith is going to take that position away from him. He's up 6 spots. Running really well tonight. Although Burke is looking to get that position back. Unfortunately, Bryce has dropped all the way to 7th. Not really sure what happened with him. Probably got caught up in some of that mid-pack drama. But nonetheless, he's been running really well today. Hopefully he's able to gain back some positions and get back up there. But looking back up front, Paul is still putting on a charge as these two go neck and neck down out of turn 2. Looks like Crystal's all heavy on the brakes there. Gain some breathing room as Minder's now applying some pressure to Hollander as well. Looking at a battle for second right here. I'm sure King's just going to do all she can to keep that behind her. But Minder's been consistently fast, as Hollander gets a little ugly off that jump. It's going to allow Minder to close the gap. Try to work that inside. Is he going to be able to hook up and make something stick? Not quite this time around. Try it again. Unfortunately, nothing really there. Then we got Sherlock just kind of seeing how this thing plays out. Waiting there patiently. So we look back up front with these two. We'll take a look here at 6. Brock Smith in the 46. He's going to put a little bit of pressure on Burke. He's up 5 positions. Bryce right behind him. Dachelette sitting 8th. Looks like he's got some damage. He's fallen back a little bit. But with that, we'll jump back up front with our leaders. King's still out front. Hollander doing everything he can to try to defend his position from Minder. And Sherlock just being very patient back there as we come down to the last couple laps. Oh, looks like Minder got up on the wall there a little bit. He's able to recover nicely. Look at that. Sherlock able to make a pass there. He's able to make that work. Let's go back and take a look at that one. Looks like he's just able to work the inside and get a good drive out of there. Minder went a little wide and left him the opportunity. Looks like these two are not done yet. As Minder, I think, wants that spot back. Looks like Bryce has been able to close the gap a little bit there on Burke. Then you got Cole Ashlock looking to apply some pressure to Dusty. That's for 8th. So all around, some good action tonight throughout the field. But all eyes right now are on these 4. And King doing everything she can just to keep them behind her. Looks like Minder's lurking back there as well. Oh, King getting into the wall there a little bit. It's not going to slow her down at all. Looks like Paul's going to try to make some stuff happen here. He knows he's running out of time. Sherlock's going to try to drop to the inside. We'll see if Minder's able to put on a late charge. And then Bryce sitting back there in 5th, a few seconds behind them. That's your top 5 as we cross the line for one more time around. Ooh, it's like Titus gonna take that spot away from Paul. See if Paul's able to answer back. So he's just gonna stay patient for right now. King's gonna guard that inside. Paul had an answer. He's able to take that second spot back. And it is a drag race into turn 4. All this for second place right here. So with that, looks like Crystal King is going to be your round 4 winner. Sherlock. And then Minder is going to sneak up and take that away from Paul. So King, Sherlock, and Minder. Hollander 4th. Bryce in 5th. James Burke. Brock Smith, Dusty Ladner, Cole Ashlock, Nathan Metoxen, Nicholas Dachelet in 11th, Devin Nelson, Jeff Daniels, Andrew Hansen, Chris Newer, Billy Bellman, Mark Douglas, and Adam Flieger. We're going to pretty much make your top 20. So with that, let's go ahead and get our top 3 up into the booth. As that was some fantastic action. And while we wait for them to join me. Let's go back and see if we can take a quick look at that pass. This is Paul Hollander. He's going to try to get around Titus. Looks like he just slid wide and just let Titus and Minder take that position. Got a little ugly coming out of there, and that's how he fell back to fourth. But nonetheless, a fantastic show tonight. So with that, let's see if we got people ready to talk to us. Currently waiting on Minder to join us. And while we wait for them, just want to remind everyone this Wednesday, we'll wrap up the Pro 4 Summer Series at Crandon. That's going to be Wednesday night, 7 o'clock Pacific. You'll be able to watch that live on the iRacing Short Course YouTube channel. Looks like we got Titus in here, just waiting on Minder. We'll see if Minder's going to join us. But, alright. Well, going a little bit out of order tonight, waiting for Minder to join us. We'll talk to Titus Sherlock. Titus, what a passer in that last turn. I had to go back and watch it because I was kind of taken back by it. Take us through it. How'd you set that up? How'd you make that work?
Just looking for the opportunities, and the car in front made a little mistake, so I went forward, and it worked out.
Yeah, that was cool to watch, and yeah, like you said, it looked like Paul just kind of opened up the door for you, and you just jumped on it. So, yeah, that's textbook on just being patient, waiting for that opportunity instead of sometimes trying to force it. I think that's one of those moments a lot of drivers can learn from. But with that, take us through the rest of the night. What was kind of going through your mind leading up to that?
I actually didn't expect to be fast this race. I only got the track a couple of hours ago. I did a couple of test sessions, but overall it was good. I definitely wasn't as fast as the other people, but I just managed to keep my nose clean and got the move done when he was stuck behind Crystal, and yeah, it just overall it was good.
Well, fantastic. Well, I'm sure you got some people you want to thank tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Chaden. We've been driving together a lot lately, and we've helped each other get faster, and we get to work together in the races and stuff. Zach Drapkin as well. He always helps me get faster in these trucks, and yeah.
Well, fantastic. Well, congratulations on the second place win tonight, and definitely look forward to seeing you finish out strong the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, you have a good night.
You too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your third place winner, Chandon Minder. And I had a feeling I'd be talking to you up here on the podium again. Really a late charge there. It looked like Paul kind of opened up that door there in that last turn, and both you and Titus capitalized on it. Kind of take us through your perspective. What did you see, and how did you kind of set that up?
Yeah, it was a crazy race. We didn't get the best qualifying, so it was just trying to find our way up there slowly. And then the last lap came, Titus got through there, opened up the door a little bit, and then we tried getting through there.
Yeah, that was fantastic, and you've been so consistent this season. It seems like every week you've been on the podium, and that is a great example of how you can be a points leader and not necessarily win the races. So congratulations on being consistent, and yeah, you're just a joy to watch out there.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody you want to thank or?
Just you guys and Connor for putting on the series again.
Well, fantastic. Well, like I said, we love having you. We look forward to seeing you again. Put on a good show going into Crandon next week. And with that, you have a good night.
Thank you.
All right, the first place winner tonight. Crystal, when we spoke last week, I told you I had a feeling I'd be talking to you again on the podium, and you did not disappoint. Congratulations, and good job keeping all that distraction behind you. Yeah, go ahead and take us through the race from your point of view.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty crazy race. I knew if I could just get through the first couple corners, everything would be okay. And thankfully, I was. And me and Paul got to battle it out for a little bit. And my first thing was just getting around him. I thought that was going to be a task, which it kind of was. But once we got around him, I was focused on just hitting my laps. And then comp caution comes, and we know that we have to go through that start all over again. And I was just trying to get some laps going and try to pull away, but the track started tearing and it was getting slick, and I was just trying to hang on.
Well, like I've said, you showed us what right looks like tonight, and the way to race in front of you, and just keep all that behind you, and just look for the opportunities, not force them. And it was a great show to watch. So congratulations. And with that, I'm pretty sure you may have overtaken Chandon in the points. So it's going to be interesting to see what transpires going into next week. But with that, I'm sure you definitely have some people you want to thank to make this possible.
For sure, it's been a good season so far, and I'm excited for the last round. Been putting in a lot of work with my boys at Factory Sim Sport. Cannot thank them enough for everything that they do for me. We put a lot of long hours in, and it's starting to pay off. Specifically, Keaton and Christopher Plumley and Tyson Miller, Luke Knupp. Shout out to Bryce Semino and Josh Edmondson at Boars, and my boys at Shenandoah Shine. The crew over there is pretty cool. And yeah, thanks everybody.
Well, fantastic. Well, like I said, we look forward to seeing you again as we go into next week as we wrap up the season. And I have a feeling you're going to be a favorite.
Thanks, appreciate that.
All right. Well, you have a good night, and we'll be chatting, I'm sure, again soon.
Thanks.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up our coverage here of round 4 at Wild West. I want to thank everyone on behalf of Factory Sim Sport iRacing Short Course for tuning in. Again, season final next week, Monday night, 7 o'clock. We look forward to seeing you here.